Welcome to the...
Yep.
You're seeing guys.
I remember how this goes.
All seeing, all believing, deceiving, moving, drinking, thieving. No, we're not, we're lovely. Splendid couple of lads. Kind of lads you can bring home to your mother. Splendid couple of lads. Bring home. It's nice lads with their sweater cardigans over their shoulders, adorned over their shoulders. I've realised I started podcasting when I should be singing the theme. Hello, welcome to All Seeing Guys, episode 169.
Why are you doing the Harvey hello?
I don't know. It just naturally came out of me.
Okay.
It just naturally left my mouth in an excited breath of yes, we're podcasting.
It really was. Yeah, it's happening, and we're in front of each other.
We're in the same room. We're sat around, across from each other, around a table in my living room.
Yes.
My kitchen table in my living room. Imagine that. Can you imagine such a thing?
Crazy. It's crazy talk.
Yeah, we're set up here in my house. We're going to address the time issue at the moment because this will come out after Christmas.
Yes. Yeah,
But it's not, by the time of recording this, it is not Christmas yet. In
Not
fact,
at all.
it is only the 13th of December.
Oh, it creeps up quickly, though, doesn't
We're
it?
doing it early. We're recording early because we're going to get out of the way and deal with, Christmas.
That's all right, though, because we are officially past the 12 days of Christmas.
Exactly.
And everyone's run out of gifts.
There we go.
Yeah, because no one could think of 13 things to provide for someone.
13 things. I'm out of ideas.
I got nothing.
So it's very festive. We've got the Christmas tree next to us and the Christmas lights. I've turned it all on.
Yeah, it's delightful in
I
here.
thought, why not turn it all on? If it's going to be Christmassy and Joe's here to record in person, let's turn all the Christmas necessities.
Let's get out all the things that Joe doesn't
mulled
like.
wine slowly simmering away in the kitchen. No, it's not happening.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Don't have an open fire, so it's got a candle in the corner.
Kevin McAllister is currently setting up booby traps everywhere.
So yeah, we're sat at home. It's nice and early in the morning on a lovely Monday.
I don't think we haven't done a podcast this early since you crashed at my flat, like on a Friday night.
Yeah, not crashed the car, like stayed over.
Not yet. When you used to stay over, and then we'd
get up in the morning.
We'd get up in the morning and either finish off the episode that we were too fucked to fucking finish.
That happened a few times.
That happened a couple of times where you were just pausing, and be like, mate, I don't think I could do this. Can we just watch YouTube?
We got too fucked, then sat down to do it.
Yeah. And then we'd get up in the morning and just be like, do our shits and everything, and get going again.
No, that's not together.
Not together, no. Although I did draw artwork like that once.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just artwork, just pretend.
Yeah, it's just none of it's real. We're not really,
for it.
Disarming a mortar from a man's anus. That didn't actually happen. I mean, it did happen, but we weren't there.
We're also going to address the bunny in the room. We have, because we're in my house, in my living room, there's a balloon, like a helium balloon. A helium balloon that we got Indiana a good couple of weeks ago, maybe longer. That was of Bing, which is a rabbit of a show she watches on CBBS. I don't like Bing. A lot of the mums like, oh, it's so good, it teaches good lessons. I think it teaches kids just to whine all the time, because that's all Bing does, is whinge and cry and moan. And he's always falling over and crying. He's always crying. Like, he just, it does my head in. Anyway, Indiana wanted this helium balloon, so obviously it's been all helium, so it's been right at the ceiling. Now it's starting to lose its helium, and it's kind withering, and it's now just like hanging like in the middle of the air. Yeah. It's kind of like, it's not on the floor, it's not on the ceiling, it's like in the middle.
But also it's hanging upside down as well.
Yes, it is hanging up, so the head's pointing down, and it's kind of like, it's hard to say. It's at the moment, because we're looking at it, it's keeping very still.
Yeah.
But it does move around the house, but you never see it move.
No. I mean, just before we started recording, it crept up on me.
It came over your shoulder, and you jumped, and I looked up, and I somehow, it's massive, this thing, it's fucking huge.
It just crept behind me, and I was just the perfect thickness.
It's definitely probably like, like my waist up to like maybe my ears. Like
it's a good torso-sized balloon.
It's big, yeah, it's huge. And how I didn't see it creep past you, it must have gone right across the room. But it's funny, because a few years ago, Ed bought Indiana a SpiderMan one. And that started having the same thing happen.
Yeah.
And it used to really freak Lizzie out because it just used to follow her around. Like she would walk into a room like, oh my God, all the time. She was on edge all the time. And at one point, she literally dragged it back downstairs. I was like, bloody thing. She put it in the kitchen or whatever, went upstairs. She's like, I'm going to the toilet. And I was playing the PlayStation. And like minutes later, I just hear her go, oh, come on. Like, and I'm like, what the fuck? And it's gone out the kitchen, up through the living room, past me without noticing, up the stairs, and then into the toilet.
But the way, like, the speed of which these balloons move when they're starting to wither, with the Spider-Man one, it suggests to me that it goes like the balloon's moving along and he's just going, Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
Well, that one definitely took a liking to Lizzie and kind of haunted her. This one's taken on shine to me.
Yeah, it's because it can taste the hate.
I've been in the evening lying in the corner of the sofa here, kind of, and I like put my head back and look up, and it's there. It's directly above me, looking down at me, and I'm like, oh my God, fucking hell, it's so fucking scary.
You sent a picture to the group chat
Yeah,
of it like hovering over you.
Yeah, and it was on the ceiling then.
I said it looked like the baby in Trainspotting crawling across the ceiling.
Yeah, and it was dead against the ceiling. If it happened now, it would like drape across my face.
I think we're lucky at the moment. It's sort of caught onto a book, so I think it's not going to disturb us, this one.
I think it's also a fact of that if we look at it, it's not going to move.
Yeah.
It knows it's being watched.
Uh-huh.
I don't trust it.
No.
Fuck it. Anyway, so if you hear us scream randomly in the middle of this podcast, it's because the balloon has crept up on us.
Yeah, or Lizzie has walked in the room
Yeah.
like last time.
Attacked by a Spider-Man balloon. Lizzie's not here, though.
No. I was making reference to the time when she made you jump
Oh, yeah.
a couple of episodes ago.
It's another reason we're doing this early and together is because after this, we're going to Kingston and we're going to the cinema to see Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Indeed. I can't wait.
I'm very excited to see it. I'm a bit nervous about going to cinema again.
I haven't been in a while, so it's not really...
I can't remember the last time I went. It might have actually been Endgame with you.
Do you reckon?
I think I saw Endgame with Lizzie actually afterwards. I saw it twice. I don't know if I've been since. I don't know. I honestly do not know. Maybe I have. Maybe I'm being stupid. Maybe I have. I can't.
I mean, yeah. My definitely the last time I went was it?
Yeah, we went.
When did we
Endgame.
see Endgame?
Well, whenever it came out, I'd fucking know.
I don't know. Maybe I saw Joker.
Maybe. Oh yeah, you definitely did see Joker. But yeah, I don't. Maybe I'm being wrong, but I definitely haven't been since COVID started.
Yeah.
So it's definitely been like 2 years. Like I've not been like since COVID started. So
no, definitely not.
And it's all different. I was saying when I booked it, I was really surprised that it was like £7 a ticket. I thought I bought a kids
I was
one.
blown out. I thought we were looking at easily like 15 quid.
Yeah, I literally thought I bought a kids ticket. I just messaged my mate to ask, and he's like, no, it's the price during COVID. I was like, oh shit, okay. And then they email you your ticket.
Long may it rain.
And then they email you your ticket as a QR code. I was like, oh shit, I don't even have to fuck around with that machine.
Awesome.
The amount of times I remember going to see something with Jack, and we smoked a spliff in the park before. I think it might have been, what film was it? It doesn't matter what film it was.
Was it Doctor Strange, was it?
No, it was in Kingston, this one. And we smoked a spliff in Fairfield, then gone in, and we were running late. I remember we were running late, because usually I'd go get the tickets. First thing I do when we arrive is go get the tickets.
Yeah.
So then we just go to the pub, and then when I come, I just walk in. But we were running really late this time. There's no time for pub or anything, so we literally arrived, and he's like, look, quick, smoke this spliff. I was like, you kidding me? We haven't got time, but we did. I feel like it might have been that Quentin Tarantino one. I could be wrong anyway. The Crazy Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight, yeah.
Could be wrong. Anyway, doesn't matter. We get there, and I'm like, right, Reese, really fucking high. And I put my card in the machine, and I'm like, fucking navigate to print tickets, because I've already booked them. Out of paper. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm too high for this. And Jack's like, what do we do? I'm like, oh. But luckily, it's weird, when I am stoned, and I hate being in any situation that involves anything really.
Yeah.
But when something arises, I usually am quite good. I usually do rise to the challenge.
Yeah.
And very quickly, Jack was like, you like turned into an adult really quickly. He's like, you literally were like, right, come on, and like walked me to the past the queue of people queuing up to get food.
Yeah.
I was just like, really sorry, and I just told them, and they were like, oh, okay, and they bring it out there and give it to me. And it's such a simple thing to do. Because I was stoned. I was like, oh my God, what happens now? I'm going to have to go talk to those people. There's loads of people. I'm going to say all the wrong things.
You're just like, that is you at the start of Labyrinth, like not even entering the fucking maze yet. You're just like, oh, this is going to take
I'm going to go over there and just be like, chili garlic, please. What? No, sorry, I was thinking of kebabs. Sorry. My bad. But yeah, none of that. Now we have a QR code. Walk in. Scan that shit, bitch.
I tell you what I quite like to do stoned is go to the bank. That's a good one.
Wow, I couldn't think of anything worse.
Yeah, no, it was.
Why would you do
really,
that?
Just a bit of fun, really. I purposely had to go to this bank.
I mean, I understand you purposely had to go there. Like,
Yeah. So it was.
I just took a wrong turn, and I was like, "Why I'm here?"
I was just like, this isn't the newsagents. Why did it? Yeah, I think I was withdrawing.
Oh, yeah, sound went on our headphones then. So you were drawing money.
Yeah, this is when I lived in Tolworth, which
Right.
I really, in all honesty, for those 2 years, couldn't afford to do so.
Yeah.
So I had to go to this particular bank where I had a proportionate amount of money to withdraw it, and I decided
Like a building society.
Yeah.
I used to go to there used to be one called the Britannia and Tolworth, and that's where I used to have to go.
Oh, this was Leeds. I didn't have to go to Leeds,
Right? Yeah.
But it was the building society was called Leeds.
Yeah.
And there was one in Epsom.
Oh,
So I always had to get on the bus from Tolworth to Epsom. But every single time I decided, obviously, like the walk up to the bus stop from where I lived was a good, sort of 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Every single time I was just like, oh, I could probably smoke a spliff in that time. And would do so. And then get on the bus, really, really stoned. And then get there and I'd be like, oh, this was, I shouldn't have done this.
See, it's crazy. I can't think of anything worse than on my own, smoking a spliff, walking down the street by myself, before then having to get directly onto a bus and then go to a government building.
I don't.
Or independent
government building.
No, not really government building, but go to a building
I went
society.
to the council.
Yeah.
To discuss many things.
It's crazy you would do that. Oh, I can smoke a spliff in that time, so I will.
I always, every time I'm outside smoking a spliff, I always just think about you being just like, I can't believe you do that.
Yeah, I know.
Like not out because you're fucking disgusted with
No,
me.
just
like, fair play.
And I think because when I was a kid, when me and Lee used to smoke weed in our teens, we used to like smoke right around the back streets of his house, which is in Cheshunt. It's just down by the
Which is
Espace
still
roundabout.
fun.
Actually, it was like Thames Ditton, and we used to love it all the time. And I never batted an eye. It never used to bother me at all.
No.
I mean, even if we saw people, it never bothered me. But I remember there was one time we were walking back down this road, and it fucking stank, this straw he had, and we're just passing the suit back and forth, and then we heard this guy walking really quickly behind us, and he put his arms round, grabbed like one of Lee's shoulders, one of mine, pulled us in, and went, "And what are you smoking there, lads, eh?" And he was like, "What's that? Where's it from?" We're like, and he identified himself as a police officer. And I'm like, oh my god! But he wasn't like arresting us. He was like on his way to the pub, I think.
Was he off duty?
Yeah, he was on his way to his pub, but he was just like, and he started going on about, oh yeah, too much homegrown shit around these days, and I'm like, is he? I feel he was trying to like get a lead out of us. I was like, it was really weird. It was really strange. And then he's like, anyway, take care. But we all kind of walked together, and we were like, do we smoke it or not? I don't know. Like, we still had it.
It sounded like he was on a wind up.
Yeah, well, he had a police badge, like unless he's carried a fake one around with him,
Maybe.
but I think he just felt he had to say something
I'm Detective
because
Cool.
he was obviously walking behind us the whole time.
Yeah, I guess so.
And even though that occasion didn't end terribly, I was still that really freaked me out. I was like, that could have gone any or either way.
I mean,
I've got into like almost violent confrontations.
Yeah.
About people thinking I have weed or smelling weed before, or anything like that. Like I've had that happen before as well.
I mean, I'm not like incredibly brazen when I'm not like sort of flaunting my weed wealth when I do go outside. I'll go to the park.
Wear it around your neck like a wreath.
Yeah. With my giant ganja hound
and a massive like cane
and a fucking
with like a
Marley
zoot in
t-shirt.
amber at the top of it. The first zoot known to man. I found the end and had it encased in amber.
I'm opening a theme park based on the DNA of the person who smoked this.
It was a guy called Steve. I thought it was the first. It was actually from the 70s.
Steve in a cage. Just like, I died 50 years ago. What
Welcome
am I doing
to Steve
here?
Park.
Steve Park. Dun 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 dun. Steve.
Just breaks into
He
coughs.
smoked the first joint ever. Is Steve. Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. I'm still quite subtle with it. Like as I said, I go to the park near me and kind of sort of walk about, and there's like woods in there, so I'll go in there because that's a bit creepy.
Yeah.
But then also, I did find out recently that some boy got done over by 6 fucking guys in that same park.
Fuck.
So I'm just like, I might have to go to a new park now.
Yeah, I have to go further away from home and do this.
So yeah, So yeah, I'm not like walking around.
I tried once.
listening to like fucking Three Little Birds by like Bob Marley.
I tried once. I was going to go to the woods. It was really wet, but I was going to put on like my boots and stuff, and I was going to go over to the woods, and I was going to take some photos with like the Star Wars figures.
Yeah,
And I was like, I'll take a spliff, which I never do. It's
a good spot.
But I was like, do
it's
it.
a good part.
So I rolled a small one.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't for hours. I'm like, I can't find anywhere. There's too many people. Even though there wasn't, but there's always was someone.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't have anyone know or smell it. They might say something to me. Like, and then in the end, I found this. I ended up standing in the middle of this fucking field that was fucking waterlogged to shit. Smoked it there, and there still was people would walk up to see it was kind of dead end and go back. And I'm like, ooh, kind of really quickly smoked it. I might as well take a picture while I'm here. Like. But then after that, the rest of the time, I was like, I thought it's silly just stopping and taking photos and people around with toys. So what if they asked me what's going on? Like, I just didn't really do. And then I kind of left that park, went to another set of woods further afield.
Yeah.
Got a bit more muddy, a bit more. You remember that really muddy, sketchy part? I don't know. We had definitely walked it. It might have been Lee when it was wet. Do you remember we did that first walk in those parks and we sat on that bench by those bushes and stuff? We first got to that huge. We walked through the woods, we crossed the road, then went into that other woods.
Ashton or something.
Yeah, and then we kind of found we found a spot and we sat and had a cigarette.
We did.
Around there, when it rains, that's like you can't walk through it. It's just like
Yeah, because there's like a little lake sort of
yeah,
thing there.
it's insane. And so I did some shots there because no one was walking through it, so I was okay. And then I realised I was lost, which is insane because I've walked been there 100 times, and I realised it was going to get dark in like 40 minutes. And I was just like, fuck,
time was not on your side.
Fuck, I shouldn't have had that zoot 4 hours ago. Now look at me. Now I'm lost in the woods that I've been in 100 times. It's going to get dark in a minute. I had to like get the map up on my phone to like get me back to a road.
Amazing.
And it was telling me I was like 2 hours walk from my house. And I was like, what the fuck? But I wasn't. I got home fairly quickly.
Yeah.
It was all okay. Again, I step up in situations and I got myself home.
There you go.
I was already tactically thinking what I'd have to do to survive the night.
And what were you going to do to survive the night, Greg?
Well, I was going to scout a little area. I'd already been eyeing up a few spots. Just
Nice.
not seriously to do,
Just
but
hypothetically.
I do it's so weird. I don't know if you think this. Sometimes when I walk around like Surbiton and I see a house that's got a really big bush in the front against like a wall, I'm like, I could probably sleep in there. But like
that's one of the funniest fucking things you ever said. Just random bushes. If I ever get stuck, that's amazing.
I think about it for years.
That is amazing.
I think because I once watched a documentary when I was a kid about homeless people, and like someone was showing where to find good spots to sleep in, like industrial like when it's like residential areas, and there's not many places to just sleep publicly. He was talking about spots he would find, and it didn't always stuck with me, so I'd always like assess gardens.
That's amazing.
Like if I ended up for whatever reason being, if I get too pissed, which just won't ever happen.
No.
If I somehow couldn't get home,
I've seen you very pissed, and you still able to. Get home.
I've got a wealth of spots dotted around that I would investigate. Well, I think in the morning if it gets daylight, I still wouldn't be seen. I think about it
this
that way.
time of year, a lot of.
I don't want to be.
Yeah,
I'll
of
die.
course, but no, yeah. I mean, but also this time of year, all the leaves fall off, so it's like you've got no coverage.
Oh, there's some. I'm alright. I've got a few spots still ready for winter.
I have when we've gone for a walk in the park near you and stuff, and we've sort of seen like I don't. Not to the extreme of just like I could sleep in there, but like, but like I've seen sort of areas. I'm just like, that'd be a good base. I'm always in base mode when I'm in a park. I'm just like a good base there. That's not left me for that's been
no. Likewise, yeah.
That's in me. That's been in me 27 years. That's like that's not going anywhere. It's like a good base that.
Yeah, there was a good spot in the woods right near, actually really close to my house, where me and Indiana would like to go do crisp videos. And it was kind of, that back way we walked, me, you and Ed, and it was pissing me rain, and those kids were sat under that tree.
Yeah.
Not there, a bit further down from there, the way we were going, there's like a dip down, and like a tree that's kind of grown across the floor and back up, so you can kind of sit or stand in it, and it's got water. It's really nice. It's like a proper dug-in spot. You've got to drop down into it. And that's where me and Indiana would do our crisp videos of Indiana.
Nice.
So it was a good spot to go. We'd sit there for a bit. She'd have some of her lunch. Like
I have 2 smoking spots in the park, depending on which shops I'm going to. There's one. It's more to the right of the park, nearer to Green Street, and there's like a
thinking
little.
of that film now.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on Millwall.
But there was again, like around there, there's a kind of sort of little wooded area where you walk through, and there's a fallen tree, and I'll sit on that.
Nice.
And I'll smoke, and then I'll go in the shop high, really high, obviously high. Or there's to the left side of the park, if I'm going to a different set of shops, there's again it's like the corner, so there's all this wall and all these houses whose gardens literally go up against it, and then there's this wall, and then in the corner there's some like tree stumps that have been sort of like discarded and used as like stools to sit on and shit, and I'll go there.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's
Do you ever get interrupted?
People have walked through, but I've not. Yeah. I just tuck away in my hand. Can't see anything.
Are you ever like, howdy?
No. I'll just pretend to be on my phone.
In case they stop and talk.
Because I've got my headphones on and I'll be listening to like a music or a podcast or something.
I'll be listening to a music.
I'll be doing a music.
One music, please.
So
I'd like one music.
Yeah, I mean one earphone off so I can hear footsteps approaching. You know, just got to keep my guard up still. Yeah, no one's ever been like, what are you doing?
Oh, mate, fucking hell. Just when we left Ed's on Friday.
Yeah.
Like, we were at Ed's for quite an evening on Friday. I left there pretty moshed.
Oh, God, I haven't been that pissed leaving Ed's in a while.
I was definitely more high. And me and you left, said goodbye. I got to the bus, and it was like 1 minute to the bus, and I was like, fuck yes. And it came, and there wasn't many people at the bus stop. Bus came, it was completely fucking empty. I was like, brilliant. Scanned my card, sat upstairs, right at the front by the window.
Standard.
Empty, no one there. I like it there because no one can see me. I'm just like, haha, I'm in control.
I'm driving the bus.
And then the bus, I do think that sometimes. Like, it's just fun.
Like Mr. Bean on top of his fucking Mini.
And the bus, and no one got on. It was brilliant. Until we started getting closer to like Chesington, and then by hook, but this area not far from here around the corner, this guy got on. I heard a bit of commotion downstairs, and he stormed upstairs, this guy. And I was like, oh my God, what's this? Music off, headphones still on.
Yeah.
Trying not to look, but look in the reflection. This guy walks in, he sat on a seat about 5 back from me on the other side.
Yeah.
Then he got up and like threw something. I don't know, I think it was like a tablet or a phone at like the window, and it kind of landed on the front seat. And then he came and he sat on the front seat next to me, not next to me, but the one across from me.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is he fucking sitting there? The whole bus is empty. Why is he sitting right next to me?
Yeah.
And he sits back, he's got his feet up, and he kept trying to call someone, and they weren't answering. He was getting really pissed off, and I'm just like, oh my God. Just like, all right, and I'm like, do I get off early and walk? No, just stay with it. And I'm like, what if he follows me home? What if he starts on me?
All the worst things going through your head.
And I was like, what if he gets off at my stop? Do I run? Like, I tried just not to look at him, but kept occasionally being like, ooh.
Yeah.
When I actually got up to leave, I was surprised at how young he actually was. I was like, oh. Still, though, he still looked like he would have stabbed me.
Yeah. I mean, everyone does these days.
Right. But he didn't get off. I was fine. I got off the bus, and as he drove away, I saw him looking down at me, and I was like, yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's right. You stay on there, bus.
So long. Checkmate. Checkmate, bitch. I'm off the bus now.
I'm off me fucking bus.
But yes, anyway, I'm looking forward to going to see Ghostbusters shortly.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm looking forward to going to see Ghostbusters shortly.
I enjoyed the trailer. It was very wonderfully nostalgic. Still not happy with the pointy-faced kid from Stranger Things being in it, but we'll get past that.
So without spoilers, what I've heard is like the girl's the kid's
girl,
she's
from
the
what
lead.
I'm aware is she's the granddaughter of Eagle.
Yeah, and he's the brother. But everyone, Kevin Smith talked about it. He's like, she's amazing as his grand. She's so good. And he's like, and the kid from Stranger Things, just like, her brother who's there. Like,
he's there.
Not because he's doing it, but that's just the part he has.
Yeah.
Like, so I think you'll be all right. I'm looking forward to it. I've been obviously wanting this for a long time, but I don't. But also after the last one,
we wanted it, but we didn't want what was first given.
And then I'm just like, do I want it? Because the game was like the best sequel for me.
The female Ghostbusters film was basically just a Saturday Night Live sketch.
Yeah,
it's just a skit.
Yeah, but the actual game they released a few years ago, like 10, like 12, 13 years ago, it was like one of the best sequels to a film. Was that game? It was really good. So I felt like I kind of got a little bit of fulfillment there, but now I'm like, with how old they are, it's like I don't want 80-year-old men running around New York.
Nah, of course not.
And it doesn't. And this film isn't that. So we'll see. I don't want to get too deep into it because I'm sure next episode we'll talk about it. Yeah. We'll probably talk about Ghostbusters as a whole, maybe. Just so Joe can draw us as Ghostbusters.
Exactly. Yeah, that's 100% happening tomorrow. In all honesty, I like it because it is. It's obviously like a generational sort of thing. Instead of it being like nostalgic to the point that we've had to get these you can't get all of the originals back because one of them's passed away.
Yeah.
But like it's I like how it's moved on. There's still the sort of connection. It's not just some random people find a fucking ghost trap in a thrift store and they're just like, what's this? Like,
it's a connected reboot. It's not like a complete reboot where the previous films didn't exist.
Yeah.
It's still in the same universe, which I think is really important. I think that's really important. And I never understand why people don't do that instead of reboot, as you know, as alternative to fat out reboots for a lot of things anyway.
I think they sort of think, oh, like if we do it like that, it's still connected to it. Everyone's just going to make references to the other one. It's just like, that's what you fucking do. It's a reboot. Like you're supposed to make references to the original. Like it's what you do. Like,
and now we're getting to the point in films where, especially in DC, which they're going to do the Flash film, and what was happening with Spider-Man 3 is we're now getting to the point where all the reboots are now becoming the new films universe.
Yeah.
You know?
That's it.
So now all the obviously we know from the trailer from the villains in it that does bring in Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's films into the Spider-Man universe, and it's like,
but they're able to do
crazy.
that with the whole kind of sort of Doctor Strange element where they can
oh yeah, I know,
do
yeah,
that.
it's like, but it's still crazy how that's going now. You know, like now we're now getting reboots that are no longer just reboots. They're now, I suppose, like redefined as part of that verse. Interesting. Anyway, I'm rambling because I'm getting massively sidetracked. I'm looking forward to Ghostbusters
as well. Just on the topic of films and trailers and such, the new Spider-Man multiverse trailer came out
across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
a little snippet they set up.
Looks like it's going to be a good carry on.
Yeah, I liked that. He looks older, doesn't he? They made him look older,
but like not like
too much.
He's not like 22.
No, he was just taller.
He's and his voice was a little bit different.
Yeah. No, he looked good, and I liked when he went through. They went into that like almost like hand drawn, sketchy, animated area, and then the Spider-Man 2029, is it? 49? The future one kind of shows up and grabs him. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was Oscar Isaac's voiced him after the credits in the Into the Spider-Verse film.
That's
after
really
the
good.
credits. But yeah, it looks awesome. I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to seeing it because it's such a. I actually wanted to rewatch Spider-Verse yesterday, and it wasn't on anything. It's gone from Netflix.
Oh,
And I was
really?
like, fuck's sake! All the other Spider-Men are on there.
Disney Plus.
No, I don't think they've.
Wait, so it's not on Netflix anymore?
I looked yesterday, or I searched Spider-Man, and all I got was all the Spider-Man films, including like Homecoming.
I guess maybe it's because of like there's certain things.
I mean, they come and go a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I think all the Spider-Man films are leaving. Well, especially the Tom Holland ones are leaving Netflix soon because obviously Disney and Sony have their little, there's obviously things they have to do. That's why Spider-Man can pop up on other streams for a while. Who knows? It's complicated and legal shit. As long as I get to fucking watch it, but I want Spider-Verse to pop up. And I couldn't find Short Circuit anywhere. Short Circuit 2 has disappeared from Netflix, and I couldn't find. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll watch the first one. Couldn't find it anywhere.
Nowhere.
Only to buy on Amazon. I'm not fucking buying it.
No, who wants to buy it?
I think I have them on DVD at home. If I can, my
sorted.
parents, if I can buy it. Anyway,
buy it.
should we get into some geese dropping, seeing as a half an hour in?
Yeah, why not?
Geese dropping, we'll hear snippets of a conversation heard by us, or you, or in this case, pretty much Sam. Geese dropping.
Geese dropping. Having a listen.
So, do you have any geese droppings, Joe?
None at all.
Right, I'll start with this one then, that was sent in by Maren. She heard a man say this, I don't know where, just as from an independent man. That'll make sense in a second. It'll make sense when you hear the geese drop. Don't be sexist with me. Beyonce could do it.
Oh, yeah, fair dues.
There you go. Beyonce could do it. Don't be sexist with me.
Do
Beyonce could. I don't know. Who knows? Many things.
I guess. I mean, I mean, there is no end to Beyonce's abilities. So
no end to her abilities and talent. She'll probably pop up in a Marvel film at some point.
Oh, nah, I think she's past all that.
I don't know.
I think she's just like she did the whole acting thing. I think she's like it's not for me.
I reckon if they came to her, she'd be like, oh yeah, okay.
I'd rather just produce children and get cheated on for the rest of my career, if that's all right.
Sam sent us some geese drops. Guys discussing wrestling on the train. Macho Man Randy Savage is who would win. Oh, sorry. Macho Man Randy Savage is who I would give 10 out of 10. For what?
What?
For
like
what?
Shagging?
Like, for...
Macho Man Randy Savage was a top shagger.
10 out of 10 for Macho Man Randy Savage.
He was discussed in one of the Vice's Dark Side of the Ring documentaries.
Oh right, yeah, I think I saw that pop up.
They're really good. They're really like the way they do them are really, really good. But there was what was it? It was I think so. When he was in wrestling in the 80s, he had like a manager woman who was his girlfriend, if you will. And in real life, I think she was his partner, but he was just incredibly, like, insanely jealous.
Right.
Like insane.
Wow.
And then, like, her story's sad, man. Like, I think they ended up splitting up, and then she went out with this other guy, and he got her into prescription pills, and she died.
Oh, shit.
So, like, it's a fucking dark world out there, man.
I wonder if that was Oxycontin.
I thought you said Doc Cotton.
No, Oxycontin.
I know.
I've been watching that Dope Shit 6 show about. That's what I was talking to Sarah about the other night.
Oh yeah.
About the Oxycontin addiction in America.
So they call it like hillbilly heroin or something.
It's crazy, man. It's insane what happened for that and what is happening, but how it was. It's insane. It's too much to even go into, but it's a really good show. It's laying out how it all played out. It's insane. How they got away with what they did is mental. Anyway, prescription drugs addiction in America. Yeah.
One of its many problems.
Now they do a Barbra Streisand gin. That was a geese drop, not me. Not me.
That's coming off the back of the
statement.
Macho Man, Randy Savage conversation.
I think now they do a Barbra Streisand
Barbra
gin.
Streisand. I mean, everyone's fucking doing gin. Ian Beale does gin.
It's true. Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd does vodka.
Yeah, Crystal Skull vodka.
If you were going to release a liquor, Greg, what would you go for?
I guess it would have to kind of be like a spiced rum, or ginger ale, so people stop giving ginger beer. Greg's ginger ale.
Greg's ginger ale. GGA.
No, it'd probably have to be some sort of spiced rum, I guess.
I would say I don't think I'd even go the whiskey route. I think I'd go with bourbon, because whiskey, there's going to be, unfortunately, you get that element, whereas the drinkers of whiskeys can somewhat be dickheads.
Yeah, of course. Everything.
Just not all of them. Like some of them, they're just like, you know what? I've had plenty of people that went into whiskey and say, try that. And then just like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. Like, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And then just like not telling me about the history of its ingredients. I just like, yeah, man, whatever. Just like, can I have some Coke in it? And they're like, ugh. I remember that I said it in New York. I said this the other episode when I ordered a monkey shoulder and Coke, and they refused to put Coke in it, so they just gave me monkey shoulder, and I was like, that's harsh.
Can I get a Coke as well?
Can I get ginger ale? Oh yeah, ginger ale's fine. Put ginger beer in. I think I'd go the bourbon route if I was gonna create my own liquor.
No, not a bad shout. Get the bourbon route. Joe's bourbon route.
The route of bourbon.
That sounds horrible. Joe's bourbon route. Oh, that sounds like
bourbon
an infection.
Route sounds like a psychedelic.
It does actually, yeah. Gonna get trippy on some Joe bourbon route.
Go and get fucking off my tits on bourbon route.
One more geese drop from Sam. It's a voice one. Let's have a look.
Just got off the bus, got the bus from the train station to home, obviously. And as I was getting off, I said thanks in my stereotypically British bus riding manner. So I went thanks, and the guy behind me, who was also getting off, who was clearly off his tits, just went wow.
That noise.
It's literally like a Chewbacca thanking the driver. Wow. So funny.
That's
good.
Great. I bet he really tried as well. He really tried to say thank you and probably thought he said it.
Yeah.
I fucking nailed that.
Gets off, falls off the bus.
Yeah.
Now I'm on the floor, making the same noise.
Literally face first into the pavement. I've seen it. I've seen a girl, mate. I saw a girl do it off the bus. She just fucking, mate.
I've seen that shit.
It was fucking incredible. Like, you know, when you like get off the bus, it's obviously like you step down. She forgot about that.
Yeah,
and just stepped out, and it was just like the fucking. Honestly, the way she fell was just didn't even try to save herself. She was so pissed. It was like watching a plank fall over. Just.
It was always funny what she would fall over, but I remember in the bus when some really drunk guy got on with his kebab, really pissed, and the bus moved like an inch, and the guy just went woof, fell back, and like smacked his head, and he was out.
Oh, that's a dangerous one.
There was fucking blood everywhere.
No.
And this woman's like, she was really pissed as well. But she's like, I'm a nurse.
Not right now, you're not.
She's like, hello, can you hear me? I need someone to get this. And the bus driver was like, what's going on? I'm like, he's all right. He's just fallen. The bus driver was like, what happened? He's really shaking. I'm like, it's all right. Like, the ambulance, I'm like waving the ambulance down like they can't see the big red bus behind me. with all the people crowding around it. He's in here. He's in here.
I love it.
He's in here. There he is, right there. Have you got him
don't,
right here? Let me escort you to your side seat here.
This is absolutely a shot in the dark, but I think the emergency's on that bus. You know, I think it's.
I witnessed it. I saw everything.
Come this way.
don't know where
I'm not a doctor.
It was around Christmas time as well because he'd just been to like a Christmas party. Everyone, it was like Christmas party time. Everyone was on the bus pissed.
I don't think I've ever fallen over on public transport.
I was going to ask if you've ever thought. At least it was going to be my next question.
I don't. No, I've seen it happen many a times.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there was. I was on the
We're
bus.
talking
once.
about falling over. Viewers, strap in. Listeners,
Yeah, no,
strap
but
in.
specifically on public transport.
Yeah, I'm pushing aside what I'd prepped because it's sat there. Let's talk about people falling over.
Fuck yeah. I was on the bus heading home, and it was in Ashford. You know where Chris used to live with Randy?
Oh yeah,
On that sort of corner
opposite
bit.
that dodgy
it's
pub.
like a really it's a bit of a dodgy pub. But it's like a really like the roads there is like a weird sort of like crossroads, but it goes in a weird angle. And we were there and on the bus, and it turns left to go down the road, and then all of a sudden this person pulls out of a side road, like pulls out and keeps going. So
Right.
the bus slams on the brakes, right? But it's one of those buses where it has like near the frontish bit, there's like some fold down seats.
Wow,
So
wow. Okay.
and this old geezer was on one of those, and when I say he got launched, due to the ferocity of this bus coming to a halt, he got fucking launched.
Wow.
It was like it was, you know, the scene in Prince of Thieves where they're in the catapult.
Yeah.
It was like that.
Wow.
It was like he just went boom, and just landed on his front.
Wow.
And oh
Where
my god,
did he land up near the front of the bus?
yeah, like he was like he landed like chest first.
Wow.
He was okay, but was just like literally just like what just happened? Like it was fucking nuts.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I'm glad he was okay because that
Yeah.
could have been no difference. I mean, I've been on a bus where a car on the roundabout Serban, when we walked round to get to the kebab shop for Meds.
Yeah.
Going around there, I think I was with my mate from school. We're going to cinema maybe, and a bus went into the back of us. I was alright. I was just kind of holding on near the front, so I was okay. But some old guy who did already have his arm in a cast did. Like fall up. It was really busy, and he was stood in the middle aisle bit at the back between.
Yeah.
And he kind of like fell forward. Again, I think he was all right, but he was stood on the side of that roundabout for ages, like telling people who was going to sue them and shouting and
man.
stuff. Like, but again, I mean, I have fallen down the stairs on the bus once. I was really fucking drunk.
I just remembered falling down like the stairs
There you go.
on a double decker because
Yep.
they are some fucking awkward
yeah,
stairs.
yeah. I got to walk down those of Indiana, taking it to nursery in the morning. Like,
Yeah.
usually when you've got to be off quick as well. So
Oh yeah, they don't
as the
fucking
bus
wait
is
around.
slowing down, I'm like, come on, hold on, Indiana.
Yeah, you got to time it, mate.
yeah.
But yeah, I can't. I slipped down those stairs because they were just fucking awkward. I don't think even on the train or tube.
Did you like proper fall down the stairs though?
I slipped a couple of them.
Right.
I was just like fuck, like it was one of them.
I've heard people fall more than
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
seen
yeah.
it as well.
Oh,
I
yeah.
heard people at the bottom go.
I mean, my worst public fucking transport incident was when I got my head stuck between the train doors. Where they just violently closed on my face.
Oh.
Like it was so like you press the button, the doors open. It was like someone was there pressing the
it
closed
again.
button whilst I was pressing the open one.
Yeah.
And I was like right at the front because it was Surbiton on a Friday evening, and I know what those fucking stairs are like, and it's hell.
Yeah,
And I was just
yeah.
like, I just need to fucking get out. I was meeting you guys, and I was like, just get me out of here. And I was just like, open. Pressed it, and then just they opened. I leaned out to get out, and then they just fucking shut on my cheeks.
A quote from Joe said it was the worst thing he wanted to happen.
Mate, it was so bad because all I could hear behind me was just people go, and I was just like, oh, this is fucking lame.
Did it open up straight away?
It was, I would say, about 3 seconds.
Oh,
I
that's
was
too long.
crushed.
It's
Yeah,
too
I
long.
mean, it fucking hurt. Like it was right into my temples and fucking jaws. Like, and then
Jesus.
they just opened, and I didn't even look round. I just sort of like, I just closed my eyes and just went, oh, for fuck's sake, and then just kept walking.
I fell down the stairs on the 71 when I was really drunk. I think I was working at Reese at the time. I think I'd been out with people from Reese, and I worked there, and I was coming down the stairs, and I don't know how high up I was, but I remember the bus driver stopped. I don't think that's even what made me fall. I think I was just drunk. I was literally getting off and I fell probably from halfway up the stairs, like proper, like I rolled out the bottom.
Damn.
But I kind of just rolled to the open door. And like I shouted something, and I was like, "Thank you!" And I like rolled off the bus, laid on the floor. And then got up and was like, I'm okay. I wasn't. I was in
That's
a lot of
amazing.
pain. But
That
yeah, I
is
pretty much just
amazing.
rolled off I'm pretty sure someone I knew was on the bus and they messaged me the next day saying they saw me do it. Might have been actually a girl I worked with.
That's amazing.
She was sat downstairs. And then obviously my other funny, not falling over, but embarrassing bus time was when I walked upstairs and head butted the security camera. And I was like, I hope I wasn't on screen at the time. Instantly downstairs, heard someone go, "Watch your head, mate!" And everyone started laughing. They'd obviously all seen my big head just go boom onto the
That is
camera,
amazing.
onto the screen downstairs.
That is fucking great.
It wasn't. That was more embarrassing than falling off the bus.
Well, yeah, obviously, but like,
Remember, we saw Jack fall over that time on the tube when he proper went flying.
oh my god, that was so bad.
He went flying, man, like a rag doll.
That hour of
Travel.
That hour of travel was so fucking awkward. Like, it was just so like I was so
No,
anxious.
not really. It wasn't awkward. It was just chaos.
It was so fucking crazy. Like,
It was me, you, Jamie, Jack. Who else was there? Was other cocks there, right? Callum was there
Callum was there, and Amy.
because you two did the fashion show on the tube on the train.
not against like I didn't want to, but yeah, it happened.
But you shot t-shirts, didn't you?
He took off his very nice shirt.
He did a weird walk up and down the train talking like a crazy person. Yeah. Callum. He was like, "Right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to put on a fashion show for you or something." Like,
I was in the corner dying. I felt like I was in an episode of The Office. And I was just like, why is this happening?
yep, it was intense.
But yeah, no, it was definitely...
Got a few laughs though.
It did get a few laughs. Actually, it got more laughs than I was expecting.
Yeah. I mean, there was only about 4 people there, if memory serves correctly.
No.
Oh, no.
No. It was every single seat, or every single, like, group of seats
Oh, right.
was full.
Oh, and you were thrown into a spontaneous
I got thrown into
train
two things.
home, take your shirt off,
A,
walk up and down the train.
I was thrown into getting half undressed on a public train, which I was not looking forward to.
No.
And then being a part of a fashion show whilst wearing Callum's clothes.
So ridiculous.
It's so insane. That was the last thing that I genuinely expected to happen. I swear, all it took was for someone to say, "Oh, it looks like a catwalk."
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I'm fucking Naomi Campbell.
Yeah. It was, I was sat
I'm
there
not
just
Naomi Campbell.
It's
but-
so fun. I remember, like, me and Jamie, I think I sat with Jamie watching it. And it was so... Jamie was up at first, because he was involved at first. So at one point, he sat down for the fashion show. And was like, sat next to me. But it was like he was really serious. It's for the one time he briefly stopped shouting.
Yeah.
So it was like, yes. It was like,
Oh, very good. Yes, this is incredibly entertaining.
it was so insane. And that was like... Right,
Jack...
you didn't be on the train that long. We still had to go all the way to Kingston.
You and me were just having a day in London, weren't we? And they were up there for some sort of alcohol convention.
Yeah, they were there for something to do with work, weren't they?
Yeah. We met them in a Mexican restaurant.
We met them at Mexican before they went to the thing. We had some tequila, some lunch.
Yep.
We didn't have any lunch. We had tequila. They had lunch.
Yep. That was our lunch.
No, yeah, we went.
We
to,
then
we,
went
we,
off.
We went to Five Guys.
Yep.
And then
we
we
also went to
down that alley.
We did, and we went and saw Pete.
We went and saw Pete. Yeah, so we kept us on speed. And then they, a lot sooner than expected, called us to be like, we're at this pub.
Yeah.
And then we met them at a pub. Jamie was cutting up these sausage rolls they sold there that were good.
Yeah.
And then we kind of went to another pub. And I remember Jamie said something which I thought was really fucking cool, considering he owned the pub. And I was when he was like, should we go here, have some of these shots with her, and then back to the Abbey? And when he said back to the Abbey, I was like, he means the Cox. Who's that pub? Like, and I don't know, it don't mind me being in Green Street or something. I was like, fucking... Yeah, back to the Abbey, son. Back to the Abbey. But as always, I'm pissed. Then I'm on a train for like half an hour. By the time I get to the next place, I'm like, almost an hour door to door. By the time I get there, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
I just want to go home.
Sluggish.
Just want to go home. Jamie did buy us all tins from the shop. Then he came back with a bag of all the Jack and Cokes, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. That was actually quite nice.
Yeah, I think that actually saw me through.
That was a livener, that was.
It was Reese's birthday where I flagged out on the train home.
Oh, yeah. I remember, everything. We got on a tube. We got on the tube to go back to Waterloo. We were so loud.
Yeah.
We were so loud. I just remember just being loud.
Yep.
And then Jack was trying to take a photo I think, and then the train moved, or the tube moved, and he just
Flew.
He just fucking went.
Flew, man.
Like proper. Just
He literally looked
bang.
like a rag doll.
I remember
The way
I
Jamie
remember
picked him
Jack,
up, he was
yeah.
like limp. Jamie like picked him up and like stood him up and like brushed him down.
Yeah.
And like
I remember.
I remember his eyes were like spinning in his head.
I remember looking at Jack on the ground, and the look on his face was just, what just happened? Like he couldn't understand how he was suddenly on the floor. Like it happened in
And
a
about
blink.
3 feet away from us.
Yeah, like it happened in a blink of an eye. He was just on people as well, and then that's when Jamie like hoisted him up like a back of spuds.
Yeah.
Like, and then we
Back
got
of spuds.
yeah, and then there was the fashion show. Then that was yeah. Then so ridiculous.
Strictly
Then when we were
pissed.
back, then we actually did make it back to the cops.
We did,
We went
yeah.
to Kingston instead of like going to Surbiton or anything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So we had to go back. But also it was relatively early. It was like maybe 9-10
I
o'clock.
thought it was much later than that.
I don't. It wasn't. I mean, it was nowhere near closing time.
I mean, I don't know what time of year it was, but it was pitch black when we were walking through London with them. It was
Yeah,
dark.
absolutely.
Like, before we'd even get the train home.
So I think I definitely stuck around for a bit. I can't remember if you might have been there, but basically, like Jack was just fucking all over the place. Was just
Yeah.
really drunk, and I think like
He fell down the stairs, didn't he?
Yeah,
You saw him fall down the stairs, didn't he?
This is what I'm getting to. Yeah.
I was there then.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, carry
so
on.
Ellie,
So Jack worked and lived at the pub, by the way.
Why do I remember something about someone talking about their bed?
Jack worked and lived at the pub, so it was Jamie's pub, so they'd obviously all been out for work day. We've gone back with them to the Cox, and it's decided that Jack needs to be put to bed.
Yeah,
so
Ellie has
works
decided.
there.
Ellie has
She'll do
decided
that.
to make
Take that
an
task.
executive decision and tell Jack to go to bed, which he doesn't really understand. He's just like, "Why? Everyone else is having a good time." Why? And it's just like, "Yeah, you've had a great time."
Yeah.
So he sort of goes out the back and starts going up the stairs. And
You can see the stairs from the bar.
Yeah. There's where the bar is. There's
Through
a
the
doorway.
doorway.
The door was shut, but there's like a glass window that you can see through.
Yeah.
And everyone like sees Jack go off, and everyone sort of breathes a sigh of relief. No offense, but like it was.
He needed to go to bed.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, I remember just looking at the door and at the window, and just seeing this flash of denim.
Yeah.
Just come down the stairs. Like
That's his autobiography, Flash of Denim.
He cleared like 12 steps easy. He fucking went, mate. He fucking went. I don't know.
I remember hearing Ellie over all the music be like, Jack.
I don't know how he survived that fall, because it was like he did like just jumped.
Probably did. I'm free. You're not taking me
was like,
alive.
no way, I'd rather be dead, and just jumped down the stairs. And then so like Ellie ran out the back again, and then I saw George and someone else go out the back, and then the next thing I see is just Jack being like arms and legs like pulled up the stairs, and this guy he's clearly barely conscious.
Yeah.
I don't know if he hit his head. Nothing. I was like, maybe don't let him go to sleep right now.
It's getting a bit Weekend at Bernie's. Like,
It is, yeah. This is like, fuck me, man. I thought he was dead. He fell so badly down those stairs.
but he was fine, right?
Yeah, he was fine.
Yeah.
It was fucking
Didn't
insane.
he pop up later that night?
I feel like he came back down again.
Yeah, I
in
feel
all
like he
honesty.
did. I feel like he did come back down. I kind of seen. Didn't he come down the side? He came back in through the front. I swear he did. I swear he went out the side,
Cheeky
down
little
the side
cunt.
of the pub, and then he came back in the front. And Ellie was like, "What the fuck, Jack?
Fucking nightmare.
I'm
Fucking
partying."
nightmare. I think, because I think at that point Jamie might have been just feel like, yeah, it's good
Yeah.
time. And then that's when you fucking listen.
Oh man. So yeah, he had quite a night from being flung down a tube to
dear
landing
Lord.
flung downstairs.
So many funny nights.
I remember like Rob had a really funny story. Rob does the theme tune for the podcast, and I
And Stars Not Birds.
and Stars Not Birds. He told me he was coming back. I think he might have been Christmas shopping years ago. He was coming down the stairs from Surbiton. I think he was either going up said stairs you're talking about, or he was coming down the stairs the other side at Surbiton Station.
Yeah.
And he had bags of shopping in each hand, and he was walking. He said he just slipped on the fucking like slippery steps. It was so cold, And like his feet were literally like where his head was. He like saw like his feet were like where his head was, and so he landed on his back. And, like, the shopping went everywhere, and he like fell back.
Yeah.
And he said these two old women ran over to him and were like, "Oh my god, are you all right?" And he said he was so confused. He looked at them both and went, "Are you okay?" And she was like, "Yes, I'm fine, dear. I didn't fall down the stairs."
That is great.
And her reaction was so, "I'm fine, dear. I didn't fall down the stairs."
Yeah, that's fucking great.
Actually, now you mention it, my knee's playing up. I think my dash over here might have tripped it again. I'm going to sue you.
The one rule I live by, whenever falling over,
Man's got to have a cold.
The one thing I live by is if I fall over, never look behind. Never
of course, yeah,
never look
of
behind
course.
you.
Yeah.
Never make eye contact. Just carry on.
Yeah. God, yeah, I remember walking through. This comes off my face. This comes off my face at memories. Once a year, I guess.
Yep.
But it was like from fucking years back. I might have been working in Hillfigure. I'm not sure. Might have been before. I think it might have been Hillfigure. I was walking through Leicester Square. In fact, I think I'd been at a Hillfigure store for work. I was walking through Leicester Square in the evening, and it was getting dark. Really busy. It was like everyone's finishing work, and I'm walking, and I proper rolled my ankle.
Oof.
Like, you know, there's like little, as you come to Leicester Square, there's a little bit of shop that has like steak company and all the little restaurants, and always like, then you come out and you're in the square of the Odeon and the Empire and stuff. It was like right there, and I proper rolled my ankle, and I proper like, it's not like I could just step and keep going. I was like almost fell completely to the floor.
Yeah.
Just managed to like catch myself, get back up, and I couldn't, it hurt so much I couldn't help but limp.
Yeah.
And I heard a few people behind me being, or the woman outside the restaurant was like, "Oh, are you okay?" And I was like, no, it's mine. Like, we're probably walking like a chicken, because I'm trying to, like, I can't get my leg to work. It's hurting so much. So fucking embarrassing. But then I'd like post it on Facebook. "Oh, this just happened."
There you go.
You know. That's why. But the good thing I did, it pops up to remind me of that humiliating moment every year.
My favourite.
But I didn't look back. I kept saying eyes forward. I kept being like, eyes forward, eyes forward, eyes forward.
I remember it being at like Sunbury Cross, where the big roundabout is.
Yeah.
You can go in the subway underneath to obviously cross over into the sort of shopping
Into the
precinct
afterlife.
and stuff.
You'll be
Into
murdered.
the afterlife. And but I never really go down there. It's a bit of a rank sort of like underground bit. You never really. There's been talks of muggings and stuff going on there.
Yeah.
So I always just walk over through the road bit and through the underpass of where the top part of the motorway.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Overpass. Yeah.
And there's so you cross over to one bit, and then there's like a fence, like a metal fence.
Metal.
Yeah, and I always just like hop over that, and I did it one time, and I had like some mud on my shoe, so like I put my foot up like to get over the fence, and it just slipped, and I just fucking fell so bad into the mud, and I was just like, like,
oh no,
like arm fucking first, just
yeah.
And I was like, oh. And I just got up and just carried on walking. I was like, don't look behind.
Were there people around?
The lights were red behind me.
Oh, no.
So there was about 7 cars.
Oh,
and I was just
man.
like, just keep fucking walking. My favourite time where I fell over, though, is when I was working in Walton. We did, I think we had to stay late just to do sort of like setting up Christmas deals or some shit. So I was like leaving work at about 8 o'clock. And I was walking over the bridge in Walton to go towards home. Up ahead I see this sort of like sheet of ice on the floor. Like it just covers the entire like walking bit. You can't get around it.
Yeah.
And I'd make it over the ice. I'm just like fucking hell, like gripping my because I've got cool runnings. I grip my toes.
Yeah. Bury yourself in the ice.
Yeah. And I make it over, and then I was like, thank God for that. And then up ahead from me is a elderly lady, like easily like late 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
And I see her coming towards me, and I was just like, oh, be careful up there. Like the road, like the walkway is completely covered in ice. There's no way around it. And she was just like, oh God. I'll go. She starts turning back to walk like back to the bus stop and wait for a bus, and I was just like, oh, I can't have that. So I was like, look, just like link your arm with me, and I'll walk with you. And if I go, I won't take you with me. Like I'm the Grim Reaper, apparently. So like I walk this old lady across the ice, and I was just like, we exchanged pleasantries, and on her way she went after being very grateful.
Good job. I thought you were saying she fell over.
Nope, she was all good. She made it across, and then I was so I then walked
back.
I walked back, feeling pretty good with myself of doing a good deed, and whilst feeling good about myself, I slipped on the ice and fell.
Yeah, I did it on that walk up to Kingston along the river. Not actually on the river, but the road.
Yeah.
I mean, walking up there really icy when I lived in Surbiton way to work, and slipping on like a step down into the road to cross the road, and proper landing on my back. A van went past and went oi oi like fucking. But I do remember again a bus related one, but more a bus stop. Where sometimes I'd leave Ed's and I'd walk. And then sometimes I change my mind like halfway. I'm gonna get the bus, or I walk till I see a bus coming.
Yeah.
And I was walking. I come up to a bus stop. That's kind of like it's not actually that far from Surbiton. It's if you go under the little bridge, the way the 71 goes from Surbiton, and you come to a little roundabout. There's a bus stop just past there, so it's probably about 3 or 4 before you get to the Maypole pub on your way to Race Space. And I was at this bus stop, and I was like, "Oh, there's a bus coming. I'll stand and see if it's one I can get." And it wasn't. It got closer, and it wasn't. It was like an out of service one or something. And I was like, "For fuck's sake!" And I went to lean back on the bus stop, and I was like probably about 3 inches to the left of it. Just went to lean back and just like just fell into the and just fell into the bush.
Yes.
Just fell into the fucking bush. Rolled out to the bush. I was behind the bus stop and just found that I discovered a really good piss spot and potential sleeping spot.
Oh,
as
excellent!
Well, behind the bus stop, secluded by the bus stop and all the bushes. It was a good spot for a piss.
Wasn't
and then I
terrible
came
experience.
Crumbling out. I came stumbling out the bushes just as a 71 was coming. So I literally had to like really quickly flag it down while like my headphones are caught in the tree and shit. Like I must have looked fucking nuts. Must have looked nuts.
Driver just seeing you emerging from a bush. I'm fine.
Like waving to stop. Don't go past me. I need to get home.
And he's like, no fucking way, mate.
Who the fuck is this motherfucker creeping up on me?
Oh dear, that's
Who's
good.
this dude creeping out of bushes at bus stops? Well, it's me.
That is
Greg.
good.
I'm creeping out of bushes on bus stops. Thank you very much.
Who knew we could do an episode about falling over?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's up to the listeners whether you did it. They just kept jumping from stories, but I was confused about who was there and what was happening.
I think we should call this episode "Falling Down."
Just falling down.
Oh,
you're gonna do us like the film Falling Down. Just
yeah,
like,
I'm gonna do us dressed like Michael Douglas,
but one of us actually falling.
One of us has already.
We're outside a falling down. We go to a falling down convention. But we don't. But we actually show up both dressed as fucking what's his name from fucking what's his fucking name, Michael Douglas, and Falling Down
with a big bag of guns.
And then we get there, and like a breakfast. Like, I want the breakfast menu.
We stopped serving breakfast at 10:30.
I've got that. Show up, and then we literally instantly fall on ice outside the entrance.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. True story. That's not a true story. We are going to start wrapping up now. I know it's a slightly short episode. Recently, we've been doing some longer ones, but we are off to the cinema soon.
Yeah. We can't do this in there.
Yeah, we can't do this in there. So I'm sure next episode we'll share our thoughts and feelings on said film. And probably talk about Ghostbusters a bit more, because I want Joe to draw us. So yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. I've been, I'm just kind of think I've got anything to say. I've been Greg. I've been Greg leaping out of bushes at buses' arm shots.
Oh dear, I've been Joe Fashion Show Jackson.
Love it.
The All Seeing Guys podcast is part of Podnose, the UK's leading independent entertainment podcasting network. For episode archives of the All Seeing Guys and all of the shows on the network, visit us at www.podnose.com. You can also follow us on Twitter via @Podnose or send us an email via admin@podnose.com.